Ronald Reagan came to politics from television. He had sold products, delivered slogans, and embodied a version of America that was simple and safe.
Your dreams, your hopes, your goals are going to be the dreams, the hopes, and the goals of this administration, so help me God.
But the world of 1981 was not safe. The Soviet Union was deploying nuclear missiles in Europe. The American economy was collapsing under the oil shocks and debt. Cities were decaying. And a new breed of conservatism was rising, sleek, moralistic, and ruthless. And at its center stood Ronald Reagan, a man who could make people feel that everything would be all right simply by pretending that it already was. John Hinckley Jr. was 25 years old. He came from a wealthy oil family in Texas, quiet, polite, and invisible. He had drifted through college, through failed jobs, through the noise of 1970s America, a world of protest, alienation, and cinematic violence.
I don't know whether to beat you or kill you.
And in 1976, he saw a film that seemed to speak directly to him. Taxi Driver was about a man, Travis Bickle, drifting through the dirty streets of New York, a man who wanted to do something heroic, to be seen. For Hinckley, the film wasn't fiction, it was a prophecy. He began to dress like Bickle. He bought the same kind of gun. He wrote letters to Jodie Foster, the film's teenage star. Letters filled with obsession, confusion, and a desperate yearning to be noticed. In his diary, Hinckley wrote, "I will be a hero. I will get the attention of the world." On March 30, 1981, Ronald Reagan walked out of the Washington Hilton Hotel. He waved, smiled, then there were 6 gunshots.
I don't know whether we can hear this or not. There. Shots. God.
Press Secretary James Brady fell, permanently disabled. A Secret Service agent and a police officer were wounded, and one bullet ricocheted off the presidential limousine and entered Reagan's chest. For a few hours, the United States didn't know if its president was alive or dead.
Sick. Just hurts. I thought that was behind us, and oh Lord, I don't even want to talk about it.
And as surgeons worked to save Reagan's life, television networks filled the void with speculation.
He says a friend he knew was not capable of such an outrageous act.
And he was just like a standard middle to upper income, all-American, squeaky clean boy.
With the vice president assuming the president's schedule, but at the same time assuring the world that there has been no shakeup in our government and that the president is still firmly in control.
Now, he's the most famous pawn shop owner in the world.
I'm not happy because our president's been shot with a gun that came from my store, and I don't know what any kook with this man would shoot the president. It has to be a nut. There's some other nuts running around too.
Hinckley was arrested immediately. He told investigators he had done it for Jodie Foster. He believed that by killing the president, she would notice him and fall in love with him. But his mind had become a mirror of America's fantasies. He saw the world through television and film, where violence created meaning and love could be won by a spectacle. And as psychiatrists examined him, they discovered a man who was not simply delusional, but trapped in a new kind of loneliness. The loneliness of a generation raised on images. In 1982, John Hinckley went on trial. He was found not guilty by reason of insanity. The verdict shocked America. Politicians and pundits demanded changes to the law. John Hinckley spent more than 30 years in St. Elizabeth's Hospital in Washington, D.C. He was medicated, monitored, and slowly reintroduced to the outside world. Over the years, he painted, wrote songs, and kept to himself. Doctors said he had changed. The public didn't believe them.
Well, Craig, the foundation issued a statement saying that they believe that Hinckley is, quote, still a threat to others, and if you take a shot at the President of the United States, you should not see the outside of prison walls.
Because Hinckley wasn't just a criminal, he was a symbol of something darker. A reminder that in America, obsession and fame were now intertwined.
When did you first realize the connection between the Hinckley in the letters and the Hinckley who shot the president?
Well, how many Hinkleys do you know?
Today, Channel 8 News tested the two types of ammunition.
In 2016, after decades of evaluation, Hinckley was released. He moved in with his mother in Williamsburg, Virginia. He began to record music. He posted songs on YouTube, gentle, folky ballads about love, regret, and forgiveness. He gave interviews saying he was sorry.
Well, for the Reagan family, for the Brady family, for the families of the other two victims, for Jodie Foster, I apologize for what I've done, for what I did 41 years ago.
Because now everyone could broadcast themselves. Everyone could perform their own story. And John Hinckley, the man who had once tried to kill the president just to be seen, was now a small-scale YouTube musician getting the attention he had always wanted. Ronald Reagan survived. He went on to reshape the world, dysregulating markets, arming militias, and telling Americans that government is the problem.
And we've gotten in the habit over the last 40 years of thinking that government has the answers. There's very little that government can do as efficiently and as economically as the people can do themselves. And if government would shut the doors and sneak away for about 3 weeks, we'd never miss them.
It was the beginning of a new era, an age where appearances mattered more than truth, where politics turned into entertainment, and where people mistook isolation for independence. And somewhere in Virginia, John Hinckley, the man who blurred the line between movie and reality, sings quietly into a camera. In the end, the story of John Hinckley is not just about madness or violence, but about the dream of being noticed in a world that no longer listens. A dream that began with a movie and ended with a man playing his guitar to an invisible audience, still waiting for someone, somewhere, to love him back.